welcome. This is your host Angus Andy, and this time I'm gonna bring you these couple of races in English commentary because why not? Been a long time since I do a video on English language, so I figure, well, let's give it a try and practice the language. I hope you won't have any trouble understanding me. My English is not so bad, so let's jump straight up to the race. This is gonna be one of the two daily races I did on the Mount Panorama circuit, which is located on Bathurst in South Wales, Australia, if I'm not mistaken, and is mostly famous because of the thousands of battlers and 12 hours of battlers with many racing categories, especially GT3 like this one. So let's go straight up to the race. I started up on third place, wanting to have a good race, a clean one, and be able to go up on my driver rating and hopefully get back to A after a couple of months of disastrous races. I lost all my rating, went straight up to the bottom. So right now I feel like I come back and I can do a pretty good race. So far so good. Starting up with the third place, very close to the first and second, the leaders of the race. But the thing is that it's very difficult to stay close to the other drivers when you're chasing somebody, because you get like a little reference on when to take your turns. Like this one, I made a very bad mistake that cost me almost a second, and that gave the first and second the chance to stay away from me. And the worst part of it is that they got out of the slipstream zone, so I won't be able to catch up with them unless I do like an excellent exit from this corner, which I did, but I couldn't catch up with them, especially because the second is on the train on the slipstream. So there's nothing much I can do. The best thing I can try to do is consolidate my position on third place and not have any trouble on the race. Do a clean and very precise driving. Speaking about this circuit, it's probably my favorite. This one, Monza, Nürburgring, those are the ones that I race the best, and especially because I don't know why, but I tend to do better on real circuits here in GT Sport, because I don't know, there's something about the fantasy circuits or the original from GT or Gran Turismo that they do not suit me pretty much. But okay, anyway, I'm starting out the second lap, and so far so good. I've been able to stay like relatively close to the second, and the best part is that the second one is on the chase on the leader, and the guy up front on the Corvette is gonna have to defend from probably an imminent attack from the guy on the AMG. So that probably gave me a chance to slowly and steadily catch up with them. So yeah, I think I have some good chances. Now I did better on these couple of corners, and this comes like a very difficult one. Many pilots in real life tends to go straight up to the sand and into the barrier. But this one is one of my favorite part of the circuit. When you go straight up downhill, it gets very, very fun. It's like going inside a canyon. Especially at night, it's amazing to race on this track. So right now I do better, but very careful not to go into the wall, so that stop me from getting a better exit on speed. So I only see the two guys in front getting away from me, nothing much to do. But the good news is that the guy in fourth place is very far from me, so there's not much of a threat right now. And that gives me the chance to concentrate on my laps and try to do at least get the fast lap on this one. I think it's very doable. So right now, look at what happened over there. The guy on the Corvette goes straight up to the exit and from the corner, and the guy on the AMG on the Mercedes gets a very awful penalty because it was his fault. He forced the other driver out of the track on that last corner. So let's just see what's gonna happen. That guy's gonna get devastated because 2 seconds is gonna send him straight up to third place. Nothing much he can do, but well, that's the time when Gran Turismo actually does like a justice penalty on a guy that forces somebody off the track. So I take the advantage of that, and excuse me, but I take first place. Very happy so far. I'm very excited to be able to lead the race after a couple of corners, a couple of laps where there was nothing much I could do. That guys on front were really fast, so there was nothing much that I could do besides trying to push the limit on my driving, but that will give me the chance to go outside or straight up to a wall, so that's something I wouldn't want to have. And right now I'm almost on the last sector of the lap, on last lap, and probably just gonna have to do like a clean exit here, and that's it. I'm gonna win the race, and yeah, very happy because I didn't expect to do it so well, especially because I jumped straight up to this race like having a 7-minute practice before the actual race. It was Monday and I just jumped straight up to the dailies because as soon as I saw it was Mount Panorama, I said this one is gonna have to be the one that I'm gonna race. And right now finishing with the Aston Martin, one of my favorite cars. This lady drives amazing, it's very fast and very easy to control on corners. It's not the best on handling, but who cares? It's very fast, and that's what matters the most in this circuit. So there goes. I got first place. Very happy on this first result, and hopefully getting an A rating out of this. Alright, time to do race number 2, and finally A, which is amazing, and I'm into my favorite lady on Gran Turismo, the American girl, is the Corvette C7. I just love this car. It looks very hot, very sexy, and I love it. It's not the best on Gran Turismo, especially on GT3, but it's a monster on straights, and in this circuit it's pretty awesome. The downside is that on these sectors I tend to have a little trouble making it turn because it's very heavy, and the guy on second place on the BMW is being able to catch up with me after an amazing start on the first straight, and it's gonna get a little difficult because he's right on top of me and pushing me to the limit on the beginning of the race with hard tires and very fresh, cold ones. Yeah, that was a really difficult moment on the race, the beginning, when he's straight up top on me. And the best thing I can do is try to make a very exit out of this corner into the downhill to be able to maximize the power of the Corvette engine, that V8, which is very awesome. But the thing is that the BMW is very fast, so there's nothing much I can do right now because it's straight up on my slipstream. And I go to the left side to catch up the defense on the next corner, which I take from here. I think it's very careful on this one, not messing up the apex and going into the grass, which will be disastrous. Well, I survived the first lap and I was able to make a better exit out of this because he was straight up almost on the attack. But I was able to keep up the leading and I just had to do like the optimal entrance to the corners. And here comes the best part about driving the Corvette because it just flies up. It's very fast. It's amazing on the power he gets, especially on the uphill right here. So the thing is that after this corner it's gonna be very difficult because he's gonna start up to catching up with me. So the thing is that because it's very difficult to make a move in these sectors, especially in Bathurst, in Mount Panorama, I just have to defend, nothing much to do for him. But the thing is that when he sees any chance or he tries to push me on my limit or make me do a mistake to mess it up, that's when he will get a chance on me. But the thing is that you just have to be very cool and precise and be a good girl driving right here. Coming out on the downhill on this second corner, and sorry, in the second lap, and so far so good. Didn't have any trouble here because the Corvette tends to go doing like an overturning on the tail, but I just managed to control it very good. And this is the best part, when I have a good exit out of that corner and I go full throttle on the gas and I'm able to start making some distance out of him. Even though he was still on the slipstream zone, there's nothing much he can do because the power of my engine is much better. And right here, just doing it very cool and right, nothing much that he can do about it. And just going straight up to the last corner into the last lap. Very careful here, girl. You got it. No problem. There we go. We're just gonna go on the last lap. And let's check it out. Yep, I'm keeping up the fastest lap so far. So good. So I nothing much I can do about making it a win because this last lap. There's a lot of things that could happen, and especially on my side, I could make a terrible mistake, and after all this fighting and surviving, it will be awful just to mess it up. But yeah, it's going very good right now. Talking about the car, the Corvette is like I said, one of my favorite cars, if not my favorite. I've been a Chevy fan ever since the Gr3 on PlayStation 2 when I started getting into racing, which was very fun right now back then. And well, that's probably my choice of car, but I know this is not the best. But overall on this one, Monza especially is a beast, and that's when I take the most out of it. Another circuit, Red Bull is also a very good one for driving this car. And like this one, this sector, if you do it right on the exit, nobody can catch up with you. Well, there's some other cars that are very fast, even faster than the C7. But yeah, those cars, people don't use them too much, to be honest. And I think the one that could outrun him on this race could be the Aston Martin because it's a more complete car, especially on handling. But yeah, coming back into the race, just getting up to the last corner. There we go, very careful. There it goes, straight up, full throttle, and the victory is mine. Well, it was an amazing race, this one, because I had to be on the defense side. All these on 2 laps of the 3, and yeah, I was very happy that I managed to keep up and get the victory home. So thank you very much for watching me. I'll see you next time.